Okay, hello, Charlene. First of all, thank you very much for agreeing to do this with me today. It is most appreciated. Due to circumstance at the moment, we've had to do it this way. I was unable to do a one-on-one, but hopefully this will be okay.
No, it's fine.
What I'm doing today is it should last about 60 minutes or so to
Okay.
discuss um, airline bookings with
Okay.
two specific airlines. What I am doing is trying to obtain information from people like yourselves, which could give me a better insight into possibly improving service.
Okay.
But please don't see this as a test on you. It's not. It's completely to do with the software. If there are
Okay.
problems or you get stuck with anything, it's not your fault. It's the software's, and what you may discover will and could potentially help me in the future, just to possibly make improvements and pinpoints absolute areas which need that.
Okay, no problem.
Is there any questions, or are you okay?
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
Brilliant. While we do the actual test, please be as vocal as possible. Just let me know what you're doing, what you're clicking on, everything
Okay.
helps me. Um, I have nothing really to do with the design and the structure of the websites. I have no
Okay.
affiliation with it, so please don't feel like you're going to offend me. Just be as honest as you can. That'll be great. Okay, so
Great.
just to let you know about the room setup, as I touched on earlier, we are doing this via Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
I can hear you. I will be recording your actions, and also I have a visual of you as well.
Okay.
This recording won't go anywhere else. It's just solely for the work that I'm doing to make
Yeah.
notes from. So I just wanted to clarify that as well.
No, that's fine.
Are there any questions at this point? Are
No.
you okay? Brilliant.
Yeah. Fine.
So what I'll do is I'll just start a couple of. I've just got a couple of questions to ask you. So what's your occupation, Charlene?
I'm a teacher.
Teacher. Okay. Is that a specific year group or?
Yeah, it's primary age, so 5 to 12-year-olds.
Okay. And where do you live, Charlene?
In Bedford.
Okay. How do you access the internet?
On my phone, laptop, sometimes tablet.
Where do you tend to access the internet?
If I'm working, then from my laptop. If it's personal time, then usually from my phone.
Right. And do you have broadband?
Yes.
You do. Okay. So you did mention you had a smartphone earlier.
Yeah.
Is that an iPhone or
No,
Android?
it's Android.
Android. Okay. So what type of applications do you use, generally speaking?
On my phone, Facebook, WhatsApp, Google, like Amazon shopping, anything that really sort of interests me in doing, really.
Right. Is that the same for, you mentioned laptop as well? Do you sort of search the same sort
I
of?
generally use my laptop for working, or if I want to book something, I like to see things on a bigger screen, so I prefer using a laptop to my phone.
Right. Okay. So you did touch on this booking on laptops.
Yeah.
When you, let's say you're booking holidays, is that
Mhm.
mostly for leisure or is that business? What type of
Yeah,
holidays
for
do you book?
leisure. I mean, if I was just browsing holidays, I'd probably do it from my phone, but if I actually wanted to book, then I'd do it on a laptop.
Right. Are you a frequent flyer as well then, or how many times do you
Uh, I wouldn't say frequent, maybe once a year.
once?
Less since I've had children.
Right, once a year. And where do you tend to fly to? Is it
Anywhere of interest, really. Yeah, anywhere. Short haul flights and long haul flights.
right? And you did touch on booking flights. Is that mostly done on a laptop itself then, or
Yes.
right? And where do you book flights from, website wise or app?
Generally, I have Skyscanner on my phone, so I'll look at flights on my phone if I'm looking at sort of general sort of prices or where they fly from. So for me, I like to fly locally, so from Luton if possible. And then when I go to book, I will keep that in mind. So I'll use Skyscanner and I'll use other holiday booking apps to do that on my laptop.
Right, okay. Do you use Skyscanner predominantly? Is that the first place you go to, or do you actually go to direct airlines, or is it all?
It depends on the type of holiday. So the last holiday I booked was a couple of days break over Christmas holidays to Christmas markets, and for that I just wanted a basic hotel and cheap flights. So I booked them separately. So I used Skyscanner for that. So I browsed flights first, and I booked the hotel afterwards.
So was the hotels booked separately from the
Yeah.
flight? Is that
Whereas if I'm going on a, say, summer holiday during my holiday time, I'd probably book a package holiday as opposed to just
right?
booking them separately, just for convenience and ease, really.
So I mean, you did touch a little bit on the last time you booked a flight. Could you just describe the scenario why you were booking that flight potentially?
Yeah, I'd never gone to a Christmas market abroad. It's something I wanted to do, and so did my friend and her mum and my mum. So the four of us decided that we would start looking. We sort of shared ideas backwards and forwards about places we wanted to go to, and then we started to look at sort of availability based on dates. And then from that point, we decided we were going to go to Berlin, and so we chose Skyscanner because it flew from Luton to Berlin, and then we booked the flight on that basis.
Right. So how did you communicate your booking with? I know you mentioned a few people that you was all traveling together. So did you communicate all together? Did you use emails, screenshots?
So initially we WhatsApped sort of ideas back and forwards, and people looked individually, and then and also on the phone as well. And then once we all sort of said, "Oh, that looks good," or that sounds nice, and we pinpointed, okay, for example, we decided we like the look of Berlin. We hadn't all been there before. We like the look of the market. So once we decided on Berlin, then we started looking at flights. I happened to find the cheapest one using Skyscanner. So I booked for the counterparts, and at that point, when I was ready to book, they transferred the money to me, and then I booked it.
So what were the main things for booking? What were the criteria you were looking for as
We
a
wanted to go
collective?
from Luton Airport because for us that was really close. That was in a 20-minute drive, and then we wanted something that was going to be close to the airport, easy to get from the airport to where we were going to be staying. So we looked at sort of hotels based around that, and it was easier for us to do Skyscanner and then use Booking.com to book our hotel.
How many of you were actually traveling?
Four of us, including me.
Four, okay. So you were the main bookie, I guess, for everybody.
Mhm.
So you did say about communication. Did you come to a decision over the communication and then decide to book the flight based on?
Yeah. So we first of all, we had we spoke about what things that people wanted. So they wanted to book from Luton. We had a certain dates in mind. So over the Christmas holiday period, because obviously me being a teacher, I wanted to do it in holiday time. Certain people had dates where they were seeing family, so we had to not include those dates.
Right.
So once we found that information out, that limited us to the places we could go to. And then obviously reasonably priced. We were looking for cheap flights and cheap accommodation. It wasn't for us like a luxury holiday. It was a base for us to go and explore.
Okay. Did you ever discuss face to face the booking criteria, or was it all just solely done on?
No, done by phone and WhatsApp.
Okay, brilliant. And then that was booked on the laptop, was it?
Yes.
Brilliant. Okay. Brilliant. Thank you for that. What we'll do now then, if it's okay, I have a flight path that I'd like you to try and book if possible. Are you able to begin with by going to the British Airways website, if
Yeah.
possible?
Just www.British Airways.
Yes. Yeah, it should be fine. I do have a flight path here as well,
Okay.
which I would like you to book if possible.
Sure. It's just loading right now, so you have to bear with me.
No problem.
So just the British Airways main site, yeah?
Yes, please. Do you normally use Google to?
Yes, usually as a search engine. I have got to enter in my Wi-Fi password.
Just press refresh.
No, it's still saying the same thing. Just going to try again.
Yeah, it seems to be working.
Loading, yeah.
Okay, so have you got a pen and paper or a notepad open, or just wondered if you wanted to jot down a flight path potentially, or
I haven't, but I can go and get some if that helps.
okay, let me. Okay, so the flight path you are booking
Yeah,
is from London all airports.
all airports, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter which
Yeah.
airport. To Italy, Milan. It's actually Malpensa.
So Italy, Milan, Malpensa. How do you spell that?
Mother Alpha Lima
Yeah,
Papa
yeah,
Echo November Sierra Alpha.
yeah. Okay.
And this is for the 20th of March 2021. That's your outgoing flight.
Yeah. Yes.
With you. And your return will be the 27th of March 2021.
So 7 days. Yeah,
Yeah.
7 nights.
This will be for 2 adults as well.
Mm-hmm.
With regards to the booking, economy is fine. You don't need to worry too much about
Okay.
anything else. Is that okay?
Yeah, write that all down. So from London all airports to Italy, Milan, which is Malpensa, from the 20th of March 2021 to the 27th of March 2021. And it's for 2 adults and it's economy.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
okay, so
The website.
you managed to get to the website, so that's great. What do you see visually straight away? I mean, what?
The flight and hotel, flight and car. It's like 3 tabs at the top, and then I'm just scrolling down now, and it's saying from and to. So I would type in London. Hopefully, London all airports would come up, which it has, and then to Italy, Milan. Okay, so hasn't got Malpensa. It's got Italy, Milan all airports, or Milan Bergamo, or Milan Nantes. So should I go for all airports?
You could potentially try another search method.
Let me try and put Malpensa in. Okay, so the outbound.
So at the moment you're booking your dates. How do you find this calendar?
Um, it's visual, but what's annoying is I can't just skip to next year. I'm having to go through each month to get to the next year.
Right.
So I want March. And then the 20th. I like the red circle as well. It lets you know which one that you're actually pressing on.
Right.
Add a return. So I'm adding the 7 days now. So 20th to 27th, 2 passengers.
Yeah, 2 adults. How do you find these windows that are popping up? Are they?
They're good. I mean, I just didn't necessarily just saw the confirm button. I was going to click off it and hope that it was going to just automatically put 2 adults in, but I'm going to have to confirm it. And then economy, it's already on. So then I'm going to press the search button.
Did you find the process of doing just this first part okay, or?
Yeah, it was a bit clicky, but it was okay to understand. I mean, the information you gave me, I had to search in, it didn't automatically come up. It was a bit annoying not being able to jump to like next year. I had to go through each month, but it was self-explanatory. And then I've got the screen now of, so from Saturday 20th of March. What I like is it's got alternative dates and the prices it starts from as well. Because that gives you the option of changing your dates if you wanted a cheaper booking at the top. And then it's got the different flights down the left-hand side, which is quite easy to understand and look at. It's good it says non-stop as well, because I don't like flights where you have to stop over.
Right.
And how long it takes as well. Is there any particular I need to click on?
You need to depart all London, whichever London airport you want, to Malpensa.
Oh, hang on, that's not Malpensa, is it? Doesn't actually say whether it's Malpensa. Oh, it does at the bottom there. Okay, so Malpensa, the initials are MXP, but that's not clear. Had to look at it because someone's LIN, which I
Right.
assume is somewhere different. Yeah, Lenante. So even though I put in Malpensa, it's come up with different ones,
How do
which
you
is
feel
okay,
about that?
options, but you have to actually then, it's not very self-explanatory that the second one down is Malpensa.
So how does that make you feel?
Well, it could be really easy to be confused by it, and you might end up booking the wrong one because you've put in details and then it's come up with different ones. And if you hadn't noticed it had a change of initials, you might end up booking the wrong airport.
Right. So at this point here, what would you do to select a flight? How would
So
you?
I click on economy. There's a choice between economy and business, and I would click on economy.
Right.
And it says 3 left from £38, so I'd click on that. Do you want me to click on it?
Book how you think is the right course. Okay,
Okay,
so
so
what do
three.
you see now?
It's got 3 options: economy basic, economy plus, and business. Because it's short flight, I'd just go for economy basics. I don't really need to worry about, well, actually it's hand baggage though.
Do you understand every option that is in front of you in terms of the jargon potentially, or the way that sentences are written and what services they are? Do you?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the economy plus and business. I'd probably go economy plus because I'd want a checked bag. But what it doesn't tell you is is that a checked bag each way, or is that one way?
Right. Okay.
Um, yeah, so that's a bit confusing. I assume it's one bag for each way. So I'll select that one because I'd want to have a checked bag allowance.
Okay. Right. So what has happened now?
I have no idea. It's taken me back to the flight screen with different options. So it's got British Airways again and economy, which I've just clicked on, and now it's back to it. Oh, this is the return.
Okay. Where does it say that? Is there information to?
No.
Right.
And I can't remember if I flew from London Heathrow to start off with. I have to go back because I was looking at where it was going to, but I didn't actually look to see if it was flying from London Heathrow or not.
Right.
So I'm going to need to go back. If it will let me. Yeah, so London Heathrow to. Okay, so that's not very clear in terms of where I was flying from and to, and then I've got to select my back. So I assume the checked baggage is 23 kilos each way. Select that one.
So what do you see now? Is this your return or?
It is, but what's annoying is that it's still coming up with alternative departures from a different airport. And again, if you're going to one airport, I'd want to come back from the same airport. I mean, it is giving me one option, but then underneath it's still giving me like loads of Linate options, which I don't want. I don't need. I'd rather see more of the Malpensa options. So there's only one, so I'll click on that. And that is to London Heathrow. And then I'll need the 23 kilos. See, so that's the second one. See, my confusion there is it's still offering you economy class, but if you're going to go with a bag on the way there, you're automatically going to come with a bag on the way back. So why you need to look at another option could be confusing. So I've got from London Heathrow to Malpensa on the 20th, and then it's coming back from Milan to London on the 27th. I've got checked baggage on the way there and on the way back.
Do you know what the options are at the bottom? There's an option there which save up to £112 of Avios. Do you know what that is?
No, I have no idea. I assume it's some sort of flight rewards, but it doesn't ask you if you want to join or what it is. It just says log in to see your rewards. But that's not very clear because I've never even heard of it.
That option as it was, would you like to see there that you could join a reward scheme? Or
yeah, maybe a box that actually said what it was. And also, it just looks like a bit of text. It doesn't really stand out to you. I would have probably missed it had you have not asked, pointed it out to me. I would not have even seen it.
There's also another option there. It says use promotion code or e-voucher. Would you know what that would do or what it's for?
I would assume that if you had a promotion code or voucher from maybe a flight that was cancelled or some sort of voucher that's sent to your email, you could enter it into there, but I don't have one.
What do you expect would happen if you clicked on it?
That you'd have to enter in your voucher or promo code, and then that would take off your whatever amount of money off your end price.
Right.
But at this point, I don't even know what the price is.
Okay, at the bottom of the site, you also have these options here for hotel and car. What do you think about these?
I mean, they're good to have, but the fact of saying total flight and hotel price 4,670 wouldn't make me want to look at it. I see, clicked on that. So I suppose it's good if you wanted to add quick things to it, but I'd want to shop around and actually see whether I could get things cheaper. And then it says view all flight and hotel, so I don't even know if that's for my flight path.
Right.
Yeah, and the same with a car. You actually say it's from. It just says pick up and drop off. It doesn't actually say that it's added to your. It says added to your flight, but then at the bottom it says view all flight and cars. So that suggests to me that it might not be from your actual airport.
Right.
Oh, I think I've just gone back. Okay, so my price is all the way down at the bottom, which I didn't notice straight away.
How do you feel about that? Would you?
Well, the thing is, when you're looking to book flights, you're always going to. I look for deals, like a lot of people do. So I'd want to see the actual price. One of the first things that I do see once I've clicked on these options, and to see how much it would go up or down by if I'd had vouchers or was adding extra things on. The fact that it's at the bottom, it's not. Again, it just looks like text. It's not very bold or clear to read. It could have easily been missed.
There's an option next to the price. It actually says hold flights for £5 PP. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, I think you could. So it stops your flight from going up. So it's like that I have considered in the past where I've seen a flight, and I know this through Skyscanner, and then I would talk to whoever I was booking with about that flight, and then when we go to book it, your flight ends up changing price because you've left it a certain amount of time. So that would be that it would hold the flight at that price within 72 hours. That would be refundable.
Right. There's also
But
a share your price quote. Do you know what that would do?
yeah, I've used that before. It's where you can send it to the people that you're going to be booking with, and they would give that quote to those people.
How do you feel about these two services? And I know you've mentioned that you've used them before. Would you say that they're
I would
good?
say they're important if you're going away with people that aren't in your household and that you can't talk to imminently, because it allows you to just gives you time to get your funds together, make sure everything's okay. But also, it's great to have quotes when you book a holiday so that you can refer to them, or a save button where you come back and you could say, okay, these are my save ones. Because when you're looking at holidays, I don't know if lots of people do this, but I do. I look at lots of different websites and it can get confusing about what I've looked at when and where. So it's great to have something like a save button, or where they email that quote to you, because then you can refer to it easily.
Okay. Directly below that, there are some other options here.
Hmm.
Would you normally read through this? Do you know what they all are and what they mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've put the main summary on the page, the things that you would want to know about, so the hand luggage and the refunds, etc. And then it says for full information and rules, click on that link. But again, it's just text. It doesn't stand out to me. And it's like that I could easily miss, because the green continue button is actually above it. So if I was, going through and clicking and clicking and clicking and wanting to get to the end part of my flight, I might not even see it there.
Right. So at this point here, what would you do to proceed with the booking? Where would you
I'd
go?
press agree and continue.
Okay.
Do you want me to do that?
Yeah, yeah, if you can. We won't completely finish the booking.
Okay.
Okay, and that's that one done. Um, if you continue, because at this point here, it's asking you to create an account,
Yeah.
but would you do this normally, or how would you?
I would for flights, yes, because if I want to change anything about my booking or go in and see it, I'd like to know that it's there on an account. But also, it kind of gives you an insurance knowing that you've got an account that you can look at things. Whereas if you continue as a guest, you're just relying on email. So it's just really for my own sort of security. I would create an account so I can log in at any time and look at the information that I need to.
So you touched on it earlier about saving
Yeah.
flights. Is this what you would think this would do, or is it solely for?
Well, by this, it just says save your details of future bookings. It doesn't talk about, saving bookings that you might want to book. It just says for ones that you have already booked. So it'd be great to see something where you could save potential bookings and then be able to access that. But obviously, they don't seem to have that feature on this website.
With regard to this screen here, if you was not going to create an account, do you know what you would do here? If you
Continue as a guest.
okay, if you
Do you want me to continue as a guest?
yeah. So what do you see now?
So now I've got to choose my seats from Heathrow to Malpensa, and then from Malpensa to Heathrow. But in order to choose my seats, I've got to pay £11, which I'm sure I saw that on the economy, whatever one I clicked on, you actually get seat allocation 48 or 72 hours before your flight. So at this point, I don't think I need to choose my seats, but I'm not sure. It doesn't really talk about oh, there's a button here. What happens if I don't choose my seats now? Okay, so it's a bit of a gamble. So you can either choose your seats now, or you can choose it later, but at a higher price. And then it says some customers will be able to choose their seats for free now or close to departure, depending on the circumstances, but it doesn't say what your circumstances are or what you might have clicked on, so that's not very clear.
What would you do in this sort of scenario here? How would you approach this?
I'd probably book my seats.
Right. Is that after
Price.
reading
Sorry.
this? Is that more after reading information?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah, it's not clear. If I was just look at this screen, I'd probably, because of what I saw at the original screen, I'd be like, oh no, I don't need to choose my seats right now. But from reading that, what happens if I don't choose my seats now? It would make me want to choose them. But again, it's not clear.
Okay.
Do you want me to choose my seats or?
Yes. Yeah. What would you do to book your seats?
I'd have a look to see what's available. I quite like a seat where it's near the window, so just personal preference. But it's really what's available. Nothing too far away from the exits because you're last to board off, those kind of things.
Right.
But also ultimately price. So just looking at them, the cheapest price is towards the back of the plane. I mean, it doesn't say if you don't choose the seats, would you just be allocated them? And I'll be absolutely fine with that. But I'd want to sit next to the person I was flying with. And it doesn't say that you'd be guaranteed to sit next to the person that you were flying with.
Where did it say that? Was that in
I'm saying it doesn't say that.
It doesn't. Okay. Right.
So that's not very clear because I don't really want to pay extra just to choose my seat. I'd rather just have them allocated to me as long as the person I was sitting with I could sit with. But let's say I was choosing my seat, I'd probably go for cheapest price. I think it's ridiculous I'm having to pay to sit somewhere. So I'd go for towards the back. And then choose seat for adult 2 next to me. And then I'd go to confirm seats. Do you want me to confirm the seats?
Yes, please, if you can. Okay, so what do you see here?
That's on the way there, and then I'd have to choose my seats again on the way back.
Okay. How do you feel about booking the seats at the moment?
I just think it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous amount of money to pay, almost as much as I'd want to almost go back and have a look and see if there's a cheaper flight, including your seat confirmation, because you're paying an extra £44 just to sit next to someone on the way there and back.
So would you always pick the cheapest seats in this scenario?
Yeah, unless I had someone that had a disability or, they needed special, some sort of needs. But for myself, I don't really mind at this point where I sit. Like I said, I prefer a window seat, but for me, it's whatever the cheapest option is to get there. Unless I was on a long haul flight, then I might think differently. But because it's a short flight, it doesn't really matter to me.
Okay. So at this point here, how would you proceed?
Agree to terms and continue.
Okay. Okay, so I mean, you don't need to do anything else at this point.
Okay.
But I mean, what do you actually see at this screen here?
Well, it's asking you to put the details of who is actually travelling. Which, if I go back to the scenario of where I booked with Berlin, it's a shame that I'm having to do it now because, for example, I might not necessarily have all the information. When I booked before through Skyscanner, I can't remember who I was booking with, but I could just create an account and they could do it later. Whereas right now it's asking me to put in the information now.
Right. What other information do you see on this screen?
It just confirms date. So you're London to Milan on the right hand side, when you're going, which terminal from and to. the fact that you've checked in a bag, who you're flying with, and then the same on the way back. And then underneath it's got the amount of passengers and then your total amount for your seats.
So how do you feel about all this information that's in front of you at this point?
I mean, the information right hand side I think is really important, because that's your sort of final summary before booking. So I'd like to have seen that first, then paid, and then go on to the details of who is traveling, and etc., etc.
Okay, so just to kind of summarize, thank you very much for doing that. How do you feel about this booking structure using British Airways for this flight? What are your general feelings on
I don't think there's enough information at points. There's quite a lot of just the same sort of type of text, which makes it kind of, certain important things don't stand out. There's a lot of scrolling involved, and there's a lot of clicking on several different options just to get to your end screen, which I don't think is necessary. You know, what you need to know can be done on one screen, which is this sort of summary here on the right hand side. That would be great to have seen before even trying to pick your seats or doing everything, just so you've got it clear exactly where you're going, what the time is, what you've clicked on, and the price of it.
So what would you say was the positives about if there are any?
It was pretty easy to actually click on the flight options, but what was confusing was the I don't know what initials stand for each airport. It didn't give you any information on that, but it was very clear in terms of, okay, this is a terminal you're going from, this is a terminal that you're coming into. It's great to see there's other options in terms of if you wanted to book a hotel or things added on. That was, you know, quite good. And the fact you've got the option to have a bag or not have a bag, because some people like to and some people don't. The cons to it, I would say, is the seat was really confusing. The fact that I had to select seats if I wanted to sit next to someone, I wasn't sure if I had to do that or whether I could just do it at a later date. And if it was allocated, then I wouldn't have done it. I would just, as long as I could sit as a person, I would have just left it as it was. I don't really mind where I sit. It's very kind of plain and boring looking, which makes you kind of potentially miss things, such as the terms and conditions. Even the continue and the click on button wasn't necessarily at the end of the page, so you would miss maybe some important information that you'd want to look at, like the terms and conditions on it.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, and that's pretty much all we need for this, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thanks for doing this.
No, my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Yeah, bye now.